fresh memoranda of understanding signed by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, with Chinese firms, two of them aimed at revamping Nigeria's refineries. The agreements are designed to support the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt and Warri refineries under a technical equity partnership framework. The plan is intended to restore production capacity and strengthen domestic refining operations after years of failed turnaround maintenance and stalled projects. However, the development is already attracting scrutiny from industry stakeholders and policy observers who are questioning the technical capacity, financial structure, and the transparency of the partnerships amid renewed debate over Nigeria's long-running refinery rehabilitation challenges. Joining me on this day live now is public policy analyst, Professor Ken Ife, to examine the implications of the new agreements and what they mean for Nigeria's refining future. Welcome to the program, Professor Ken Ife, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Doctor.
Prof, for the better part of the past week, there have been concerns about this idea of getting two portfolio. That's the word that I've seen. Or some people say briefcase companies. Sanjiang Chemical and Funzio industrial company, also called Xingcheng, to come and help us revive the Port Harcourt Refinery, the Warri Refinery, on which Nigeria had expended a lot of money. And the concern is that, look, what can these Chinese companies come and do? It's not a G to G, government to government guaranteed proposition. Instead, it's just some, briefcase companies coming to say they will revive Port Harcourt and Warri refineries. The same Port Harcourt and Warri refineries on which the Nigerian government has expended so much money. Even the Port Harcourt refinery, we were told, was already technically completed until we had the new NNPCL GMD, Group Managing Director, Bayo Ujulari, who now say, oh, he will sell, he will not sell, and then he suspended the operation for 30 days, and now we're told that some companies from China will take over. The people have expressed concern, skepticism, doubt. Prof, are they justified, knowing that when Nigeria goes into MoUs, Nigeria ends up holding the shortest end of the stick?
Yeah. Well, I think it is unfair to describe those two companies as portfolio companies without digging in. And I think I have dug in to see something about these companies. There is something about the vision that is, in fact, first advice to NNPC is to be more transparent about this, because you don't create that room for this kind of rumor and allegations to flourish. There is something about the configuration of these three partners, the Sanjiang and the Xingcheng and NNPC. These three are complementary. If you have a look at Texas has about 32 refineries and about 5,000 petrochemicals all surrounding those refineries. It's a huge refining ecosystem. Now, you can draw inspiration from that to see what exactly is in the minds of these three players. The NNPC rolls out defunct refineries that have spent so much money, over $10 billion in 10 years, and in the last 3 years, $3 billion, all gone in and without much success. But that represents investment. Now, these other two are bringing some complementary characteristics. The Sanjiang has reputation and track record in vertical integration. So all the prime, from crude to refined products to ethylene oxide and all other products around the ethylene, propylene, all those monomeric and polymeric materials. They have that vertical integration. They have solid track record in those. And they also have a relationship with the other company, Xingcheng. Now, Xingcheng is reputed on horizontal integration. Now, what it does is that, you have so many products that can come out of a refining capacity, because those ones are going to be picked up to produce products, and then they have a reputation of building massive industrial ecosystems. So what it is that the main vision I can see is a vision of energy park, less poured by the refining capacity, moving up vertically to petrochemical, and then being now dominated in an area where gas will come in to provide energy more. So there will be more petrochemical products, a wide range of it, and the three players have complementary roles to play. But the question you are going to ask is what kind of corporate framework is going to be envisaged, and then how is it all going to be needed together, and what kind of rollout plan, or you call roadmap, should we expect? And I have an idea on this, because I have an idea that if they operate in the way the NLNG is set up, where government just cut their quotes to 49% and leave 51% to that partner, to the others, to run this show, because they want to run the show, that is operations and maintenance. They would be involved, because when you look at the money side of it, where it's going to come from, you are going to find that for China Exim to put their money down and grant you concessionary rates, or for any of the other 5 big China banks to come in, and for Sinosure to be able to support this funding, they are going to be looking for EPC. And that is the procurement construction. They're going to be looking for EPC. They're also going to be looking at doing the actual construction themselves, which you saw them mention. And they're going to be interested in operations and maintenance, which we actually want them to do, because we haven't actually got that expertise in NNPC. When NNPC last produced 1 liter of petrol was many, many years ago, 20 years, and then all the engineers involved in that have all left. So these guys there have not produced 1 single petrol liter to know what it looks like. So let them manage this thing. And in fact, don't forget, there's a place you will reach. You said enough is enough. Nigerians believe that what they have sunk into that black hole is enough. We've tried to sell those to the oil majors. They're not interested. We offer them co-location. They're not interested. We now say to the unions, oh yeah, go and do management buyout and let. They're not interested. We say to the oil marketers, go and take it. They're not interested. So these guys that have come in, let us cut our coat according to our side. 1, you need money. How are they going to get the money? Okay. Forget federal government. They're not going into our national balance sheet. 2, for them to get these monies I have mentioned, they're going to be looking at what you call, that loan where the China controls the delivery. So that is called tied loan. And if they're going to tie the loan, we're also going to ask them to guarantee the offtake, which means we're not going to worry whether all of those products will find their way into international market.
Okay.
And I'm also going to be saying is it should be export-oriented, so that it is not purely about serving domestic markets, because we have already other capacities coming into the domestic market. So it should be export-oriented, so we know that we're going to get dollar to enable us pay those dollars back. We know that they are going to be more comfortable with the whole arrangement if they are going to construct, do the EPC, and do the operation and maintenance. So the equation will work, and the energy pack is going to be a game changer if only NNPC will see it. And in the trajectory of the first 2 quarters, they will do due diligence. The other quarters, 2 quarters following, they will do the maintenance, and then they'll go into operation. They should go to capital market immediately of going into operation. Go to capital market, because that will provide the funding for the petrochemical that will be the last stage. So that is how I see NNPC pulling this off. With more transparency, tell the people what we are talking about. I've given you an idea. Tell the people, so that all these noises will give way.
Okay, Prof, I've heard you. But when we started this conversation, I told you about the fact that people are concerned about this proposition from NNPCL. We had on another program, The Morning Show, Dele Oye. Dele Oye has been president chairman of NASIMA. He has been on the board of Nigerian Standards Organization. He has been very actively involved in this oil and gas business. And he says that another group that he belongs to, doing a report, had come up that, look, with a report that did an analysis of the deal. And they are saying, and I have the document here. This is the document. He says, for example, that Xingcheng, otherwise known as Fuzhou, lacks a prominent international footprint. In other words, a company that is relatively unknown. And that the MoU that the NNPCL is talking about represents a shift from a contractor-led rehabilitation model to a technical equity partnership where, risks are supposed to be shared. He says also that there's a mismatch of experience, that neither Sanjiang nor Xingcheng are top-tier engineering, procurement, and construction company contractors with proven global experience. Also, that there are accountability concerns. So, in other words, your point that you made that, okay, these people can make a difference, they are concluding in this report that companies that do not possess traditional profile, global track record, or specific technical expertise that is required cannot come and operate or revive facilities with aging, resources like Port Harcourt and Warri refineries. In other words, they are saying that these companies are not competent. And as you suggested, they are saying in this report that I have here that those two companies have no guarantee from the Chinese government. What do you say to that, Prof?
I think that report is baseless. And I can tell you that it's baseless. First of all, you have tried, you and NNPC, everybody has tried for how many years to get these technologies to work, the refineries. You've tried and so many options to sell, to collocate. You've tried and you have failed woefully. And here is a vision of an energy park on both sides that will not only deliver vertical integration, but will also deliver horizontal integration. The two companies have reputation in those two areas. And so you can't controvert that. The next point is, during your due diligence, you can confront this issue to say, okay, in both deals, we need technical capacity and we need deep pocket. So where is the deep pocket going to come? And where is the technical capacity going to come? On vertical integration, that first company fits that bill. On horizontal integration, the second company fits that bill. Because who is the competent to run an energy park, to develop the multiple industries downstream, and then do marketing, financing of all this, and then create the market for them. But the second point is, who is going to fund the bill? If there are questions about financial, it has to be who funds this project. Federal government is not putting a penny. I would never recommend that they put one dime, because the equity of those facilities is enough. You just constitute an SPV, and that SPV, wait a minute, please, wait a minute. You constitute an SPV and vest the asset to the SPV. Then if these China banks are prepared to fund it on this and then fund it on this cash flow and don't harass the government about sovereign guarantee, then what is your problem? You are bringing a dead asset out to life. And I've said repeatedly that the test of this is it must be export-facing. It must be export-led growth, so that the industrial energy park will give us growth. The actual vertical will give us growth. The other growth is we're exporting this product out there, not to dump them in the... And they are focusing on Euro 5. Euro 5 PMS and the Euro 6 means that they are actually aiming at international standard, product that will meet the international standard. So guarantee us that we are going to offtake this product, guarantee us that we are going to fund it. So what is anybody's business?
Okay,
I don't understand. That report doesn't make sense to me.
There is anybody's business, Prof. Look, one of the things is that we have spent about 2.5 billion on reviving Port Harcourt and Warri refineries, over 3.5 trillion naira. Now, who is going to answer for all of that amount? Are we going to just throw all that legacy debt, that record of inefficiency away, and then we just go and bring people saying they will sign MoUs, and then at the end of the day, the Nigerian government will end up in arbitration? That is why it is the concern of other Nigerians.
Dr. Abati, that again doesn't have foundation, because government has spent the money, it has been spent. Even if you don't do anything more, you still have to maintain those equipment, because they will just continue to go bad. Even if you don't invest on them. The thing is that we have come to a point where it's either you liquidate those assets and call it a day, or you create an opportunity for other players to come. They will not lift your refineries and take it to China. They are there, it's your asset. The fact that you have 49%, that is your contribution to the project. Then they will bring the finance required. That will become a loan to SPV. They will produce. They are focusing on export. The questions we are asking, these questions are supposed to be asked by the bank giving them money. Where is the offtake? Who is taking off these products? They will say, oh, we will guarantee the offtake in China because we are meeting Euro 5 standard, Euro 6 standard. People answer questions. There is no one who is going to develop the energy park that will give us the horizontal integration. Oh, that is my competence. That's the second company. Now, who is going to build the vertical integration to have all the other products? The first company has a reputation in that. So what is Nigeria losing? You are just putting that dead wood into their hands to invest. Their investment is coming, and they're taking it out so that we can generate revenue. So they're not going to be asking you to guarantee that loan. You're going to bring it in federal government balance sheet.
Okay, Prof.
It's not coming to federal government balance sheet.
Okay, Prof. There are some people who have the opinion that these refineries cannot be revived. Why not just sell them as scrap to private sector? And then let the private sector deal with it. And that private sector does not necessarily have to be portfolio briefcase investors from outside the country. What do you say to that?
No, it's very wrong to call these companies that have just done due diligence on them portfolio companies. It is not, it's very, very unfair. And if you're asking any other private sector to come and buy this, they are going to buy it, they liquidate the company. Just liquidate those refineries, and they can come and take it as junks and break up whatever and sell that as scrap metal. But if somebody as a group come together with a vision, the kind of vision I've just articulated, and they are going to borrow somebody's money to bring it in, to revive this with no recourse to federal government for that investment down the black hole, what is your problem? What is anybody's problem? They are bringing investment. This is what you call investment budgeting. So they come in and then they bring their money, they guarantee their products are going out, they are not going to, and they are going to create more, they are going to help increase the refining capacity in the country. And I don't see why anybody should feel threatened, because we are not paying out any more money. Federal government is not going to put any more money. And in fact, people are even worried why did the president write off all that debt of the NNPC when they should have written off the federal own and then leave the states, securitize the debt for the states and local governments. But now they've gotten away with this. And I think we should just give them a chance to see whether they can get somebody, a willing buyer that wants to bring resources in. Because the end of the story is this: who is bringing investment into this country to take away the pains of a dead zone? Okay. That's the thing. What is the sequence? Who is bringing investment? And what is the impact that investment is going to have on our energy deficiency? What impact is it going to have on our import dependency? Because Dangote is so special because it's not only producing, refining, but it's exporting. And that's where it is so different. So we want another group to come to focus on exporting whatever they are going to refine here and bring their money to do that. So what is the problem? I can't see what the problem is.
Oh, no, the problem is...
Why? What are people... If they fail to raise the money, then the piece of paper can be torn. You can tear the piece of paper if they fail to raise the money. All these issues that are being raised And matters the sign-no-show will be raising before they will agree to insure it. And it's question that the Exim Bank will be raising before they will commit the fund.
Okay, the problem is people are saying, stakeholders in the business, in the sector are saying that these two companies lack the technical competence and that in fact they have issues when you do due diligence on them, and that in fact one of them is basically a real estate business, not really involved in this core area of engagement. And okay, these same existing companies that you talk about, you just mentioned Dangote refineries, but the same Nigerian government is import focused. You recommended export, right? Yeah, which will make sense to add value, to maximize to value, to leverage and all of that. But the Nigerian government is more interested in importing, despite all the situations that we have within the global space. So are you convinced that NNPCL has the right construction of the space for investment, for revenue? Can you hear me, Prof?
What I'm saying is that NNPC would have absolutely no excuse to import 1 liter of petrol into this country anymore. If they can pull off this joint venture and they are going to add value, they are going to create massive energy ecosystems with multiplicity of downstream petrochemical industry surrounding the refinery, utilizing all the extra space, sending gas into there to have a gas industrial hub. And then the other one has reputation on vertical integration, producing more products from the same refined crude. The other one is doing vertical. Let me tell you, I brought a company to Nigeria from China. They are called Intern Group. They own 68 mega industrial parks in China. I brought them here in 2020 to meet with the ministers and some governors because they wanted to invest $1 billion each in 10 industrial parks and convert them into. This is exactly what this company is doing. They create the park. They bring companies that will use the primary product from the refining and the petrochemical to produce products. Like plastic company, bioplastics, refine all kinds of product, tires, black. They will use this. Their job is to create that. So you can't tell me that if they go into Lekki or any of this, we are 35 industrial parks, free trade zones. So they will be creating those. Is their job. They provide the finance, attract these companies, market them all over the world to come, and then you have the raw materials here. You use those refined products as raw materials to produce more and focus on export. You are removing the import dependency of our economy. You are generating revenue, dollar revenue to pay for whatever they have invested. Our country gets dividend. Are we not getting from NLNG? Have you had anything for 20 years? Any stoppage or any fault from NLNG? Nothing. Because the three big companies there Prof. They have their acts. So I don't know why people are just, they should not.
Hello, Prof. Hello, Prof. Prof, can you hear me? Okay, looks like there was a technical glitch there. But Prof, hello? Okay, we'll take a short break while we try. Okay, Prof can hear me now. Okay, Prof, just one more question. This MoU with these Chinese companies that we're talking about, have you seen them? Have you had an access to the details? And if you can share with us some of those details to reassure Nigerians beyond your own analysis.
No, I'm not NNPC. NNPC, I began by saying that they should be more transparent. All I did is, the moment I got a phone call from you that I'm coming to this interview, I had to search for these companies, to look at what they do, the two of them, and then I now dug in to find out that there's a vision that these people can work with. And then I started doing the extrapolation and then all the probability, all these calculations, all these things I'm saying are just the things that I derived from this. And it's not rocket science. I don't know why NNPC can't come clean, because this is how they are going to wreck this opportunity. There's a big opportunity here to reduce our import dependence on petroleum products. There's a big opportunity to stop what NNPC is doing in importing substandard fuel. There's a big opportunity that these people can come in and produce to standard Euro 5 and possibly Euro 6, which are exportable standards, which is what Dangote is doing. And then whatever they put their hands on here, they will export them. Better for Nigeria. There's a chance that they can bring the funding from China, provided you allow them to do the EPC, which is the engineering, procurement, construction, do the construction itself, and then do the O&M, operations and management. Leave it to them. Is it not their money? What are they doing? They're adding value. Any $1 billion they bring in here, they brought it into our territory. So let them bring the money. And then let's see what they're going to do. Are they not going to take the export out? Are they asking government to bring in more? Government is not bringing one time. We've done enough.
Okay.
Let's see what they are bringing in.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof, for your optimism. I hope this won't, like other MOUs, end up in arbitration. I would like to thank you very much for joining us on This Day Live, the Sunday Talk Show.